Okay, everyone, right, we're on, yes, Harmony, the Fall of Reverie. Sounds a grand name, grand title. It's by Don't Nod. It's by the people who did the original Life is Strange, maybe Life is Strange 2, I'm not sure. Basically, it swapped hands a bit, didn't it, the franchise and a few other versions. But anyway, they did the original one for sure. Yeah, so quite excited about this one. Don't know much about it, other than it's a visual novel, so I think it's going to be a lot of text. I've got the volume set quite low for the game volume. Might have to turn it up a bit, but obviously I want to be able to hear my voice over the game, so it's one of those. Don't know what the balance is. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll be all right. Yeah, I think we just need to get into it. So as I said, I don't really know too much about it, other than the fact that you can kind of see the basically have lots of different pathways that your characters can take throughout the game, and you can see them in advance. So you can try and aim towards a certain outcome. By steering the story that way is the gist of it, but obviously you don't know the consequences of doing that, and they might not be quite so straightforward. So I think that's the gist of the game. I try not to look too much into it because it is a story-focused game, so you don't want to really get too many spoilers. So obviously, if you are considering playing this game yourself, I would consider that, but obviously you can just watch the start and see what you think of it. And but otherwise, I think it's just a case of following on the story, really. So hopefully you'll experience it with me and enjoy it as much as I hope to. So I think we just need to get to it. I've done loads of settings already. I've changed the screen size and stuff like that. Hopefully it's reasonable, but we'll soon find out, I guess. All right, let's go. Oh, hang on. Well, all right. Well, let's go now. Yes, we do. Yes. Oh, that's very nice indeed. Lovely picture. No, it's lovely graphics on this game, I must say. Now we've just got this display, and it seems press space to continue. So I don't know why it's. It seems a bit of a strange one. That's like a loading screen that had no loading to do. And the artwork is lovely on this game. I think that's the gist of it to start with as well. Laszlo. Perhaps starting a new life, this lady. The CCTV's picked her up and says we don't know who she is. Wow. So she's gone perhaps to the big city from where she was. Looks like she's left a relationship behind, I guess. That Laszlo guy, maybe. Welcome back, Polly. Well, she's gone back somewhere then, I guess. I must say, if nothing else, it looks amazing. Some kind of weird ephemeral being there. Don't know what that's about. So we've got some kind of old workshop. We've got few different options here. I don't know what's going on. So it's not spoken all the way through. Everything looks the same, but it feels so different. I dropped my bag in my old room. So I think this is kind of like a, what do they call it? Visual novel, I guess. It's been 10 years since I moved out to this place. So she's gone back to where she came from, I guess. Maybe she split up with her partner or something. 5 since the last time I managed to come back for holidays. When I was young, this island felt so small, but now I'm realising I was wrong about that. It's not small, it's just I was growing up, I had my own ideas, needed some time, away, alone. Right, so we got that codex popped up there, but it's disappeared as soon as I was about to click on it. I guess we'll come to that in a bit. Back then, it felt like all the space here was meant for other, more important people. There, we've emphasised the commas there. And by people, I mean my mother. Ursula. She's always been so purposeful, so dedicated, so focused. She casts a long shadow. I'll try and keep the mouse cursor away from the screen if I can, but the naiads? I don't know what that means. Now I find myself staring back into the place where we lived together for so many years. The naiads. We're going to call it the naiads. It sounds, I don't know. Okay. A big residence open to all, filled with artists and creatives. The backbone of Alma, the surrounding neighbourhood. At least it was. With Ursula gone missing, the place feels empty now, almost abandoned. I decide to go straight to my mother's room, to the heart of the problem. Right. Everything looks so familiar, or looks familiar, and everything feels strange. I hear a sound and some instinct freezes me in place. Nobody's home. The noise emerges from somewhere inside my mother's room. A heartbeat and a gentle pearl-like rattling. Pearl-like rattling. A soothing sound. A call. A name, whispered, chanted. So you can see there's going to be a lot of text here. I'm not a professional narrator, by the way, so I do apologise if I don't do it justice, but I'll try my best. I feel compelled to open the door, and okay, so there's a lot of this, I think. I don't think I've played a visual novel for a long, long time. Most of them were back in the old, 80s, 90s days. So visual novels were literally novels. There, no pictures, generally. Oh, magic pendant. Certainly getting somewhere quick, aren't we, here? The pendant wants a bath. Well, it's certainly progressed quick, hasn't it? I mean, jumps into a bath with a magic pendant. You'd think being a visual novel it could take the time to explain all this, but a bit better maybe. I don't know who this is. So it's definitely jumped us in, hasn't it? We've got a bit of a baptism of fire here. I've no idea what's going on. There's a necklace. We jumped into a bath. We're now with some harlequin lady playing a computer game. Where am I? It's a good question, that. I'd like to know myself. The world around me, I've never seen anything like it. An endless panorama, limitless horizon. My head spins. So I do hear the game does take a bit of getting into. I think it is throwing you in at the deep end with some quite different story. And they're looking at me like I'm an old friend is a girl. Didn't really look like an old friend. Wasn't really looking like she was looking at you like an old friend. She looked quite surprised. She seemed surprised. Well, there you go. As if my presence was a shock to me. Well, you did jump. Well, your presence there is a shock to me. And I'm playing the game, so...
Oh, didn't see you there.
Alright, so obviously when it's internal monologue, presumably we don't get the narration, which is a bit strange. I don't see why we couldn't. So she's called Bliss. So I think what might be the case is the people you meet in the game are kind of embodiments of emotions, maybe, or something like that. I don't know. I didn't read into much of it, but I seem to notice that they had names like Bliss and Hope or something like that, and I don't know, I'm making that one up, but you know what I mean.
Take your time, Sprout. It's not every day you wake up in a new dimension.
Right, so she's obviously a bit more informed than we are. My ears are ringing, head swimming. I feel like I'm in the strangest dream ever, but I take a breath and focus.
There you go. You'll get the hang of it in no time.
All right. It's funny how when you go to these other places, people aren't normal, are they? You don't just see like a normal person. She's got green eyes, purple and blue hair. She's drinking it from a bright green thing. She's got headphones on for some reason. Had a joypad, but no games console. Who is this person? She puts down the game console she was playing with and rushes over to me. It's just a control pad.
So, I guess we've got a lot to discuss.
We have.
Who are you? I'm Polly.
And I'm confused.
Actually, you're Harmony for us over here.
Alright, well, okay, so that might explain the name of the game, maybe. Okay, so she's Bliss, you're Harmony. Okay. So maybe in the real world, this girl Bliss is just called Donna or something like that. That's kind of a joke, but who knows. She seems to be looking at my clothes and what happened? Why am I dressed like a priestess? Breathe, I need to breathe.
I'm Bliss. This world is Reverie. And it's in big trouble.
I'm going to attempt to press the C button here. Now you can go forward and back in text, which seems quite good, I assume. Auto text, all that means. Maybe it goes into individually, automatically. You can hide the interface, which is quite nice. So I guess once you get used to it, you can just hide it. Okay, so we've got this alright, okay, so we've got Bliss here. Alright, so the incarnation of primal dreams and childhood. Bliss embodies the need for joy and protection, alright. Until innocent child, bliss is one of the oldest aspirations. Okay, so we're going to meet all these aspirations. Born from the earliest dreams of humankind, bliss always needs more love, more laughter, more comfort, and more security. She despises any form of hierarchy and barely contributed Reverie's development. Her fears can sometimes overwhelm her and cause disasters, like the huge earthquakes that divide Reverie's realms. Okay, so you can see it's kind of quite, not fable-like, but sort of, I don't know, a bit like Greek mythology or something. Society, we've got Athena. There's going to be a lot of information in this game. Athena is the oldest inhabited city in the Mediterranean Sea. All right, okay, so we're kind of in the real world. It is now one of the most technologically advanced city-states in southern Europe. Located at the crossroads of many influential civilizations, Athena was always destined for greatness. Thanks to monoconcern, and despite concern for bulky citizens, the island has been ushered into the 21st century, so we are kind of in present day. With safer streets, new buildings, cheaper access to technology, and lower taxes, Athena is now a trailblazer among European capitals. We've got this Naides, or whatever. Born in 1924 at the former Oxyan site, the Naides was once Alma's only public pool. Built, I said born, I think. With a structure loosely based on Oxyan architecture, the Naides was also meant to highlight Athena's cultural heritage. One of Alma's thriving gathering places, the Naides was forced to shut down in the 80s when the city council fell into financial ruin. It remained empty for a decade until a successful local poetess, which is presumably your mum, and other community members managed to build it back from the city. They transformed it into a multi-unit building, welcoming all kinds of artists. So you can see there's lots going on here. Who knows? We might have to, I don't know. Right, what's the A button here? Forward and backwards. I don't know why it's not just the left and right buttons. Alright, we'll go back. Do we hide the interface? Might hide the text as well. We'll leave the interface open, although it does look nice. Alright. Doesn't hide the mouse pointer, unfortunately. Okay, maybe we should hide it. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. We'll see what happens. Alright. Right, I'm Bliss. The board is Reverie, and it's in big trouble. Now, it does have an arrow saying to the next button, but when I click the arrow button, it doesn't go next. So I'm not sure. Okay. I think it just goes back. It doesn't go forward to one you've not read for some reason.
What?
Both my world and yours are on the brink of collapse.
Sounds serious?
Not pillaged and plundered by an invading army or something cool like that. No, this is ugly. Bad news. Collapsing from within, you know?
Not quite delivered with the gravitas that I would expect such a statement to be given, but there we go.
Wait, slow down, please. I was just in my mother's room and I picked up this necklace and...
See this?
Your drink. The girl points to an object floating in the middle of the platform. I don't know why it doesn't narrate the inner narration in your head, the yellow thing. I mean, I think that would be nice to have a narrator for this game. Oh my god, did I don't think I read that out. The girl points to an object floating in the middle of the platform. An orb. It sort of looks like a heart, wreathed in blue flames. It's radiates a powerful surge of emotions. How do I know this?
Don't look at it for too long, Sprout. It'll bum you out.
Okay, some strange dialogue for this girl, for sure.
It's incredible.
And yet, it's fragile. More than it has ever been.
Right, so this is sort of like some metaphorical heart of the universe. It's a bit too on the nose, but the fact it is literally looking like a heart. I take a few steps towards it. Waves of comforting warmth and aching cold wash over me. Sensations of solitude and togetherness, emptiness and excess. I'm on the verge of tears, gripped by a sense of helpless sorrow beyond my control.
I know who you are. And I know you have to touch the heart of Reverie.
The heart. Okay, so we've got a codex thing now again. Do we read it? I mean, it's just given us a codex entry, but there's nothing here. Unless it's just updated something. Oh no, is it mythology? An intangible realm where ideas and concepts become real. This is Reverie. Our home independent of time and space. Reverie has always been, but its existence is tenuous and depends on brittle. Brittle, capital B. That's someone else. And without Brittle's physicality, dreams would shatter and hopes would wither. All of Reverie gravitates around the heart, a pulsating orb made of texture of dreams. Our relationship with Brittle is symbiotic. Our lives are connected. All right. Okay.
Touch it! Touch it and see the future!
All right. Well, that's one. Don't use that as a chat-up line. I comply. My fingers seem to go right through the surface. It's neither cold nor hot. Softly rough. I feel a slight shock, almost imperceptible.
What the...
You're connected to Reverie now. You'll be able to travel between our world and yours.
It's definitely progressed quite quickly. This is the thing I was talking about before, where you can see the future, I guess.
What do you mean, travel? I have so many questions.
Looks like you're searching for your mother. This'll point you in the right direction. Introducing the Augural, an amazing tool you can use to strategize and plan out the future.
I feel a bit like, I mean, maybe it'll all make sense in the end, but he just seems to have jumped in quite quickly for maybe, you know, for no real reason. I'm sure they could have preempted this with a bit more of a natural progression to get to this point.
How do I use it?
The girl takes a sip of her drink and a few seconds to reply. Is this simply theatrics, or is she figuring out the best way to explain?
See for yourself, Sprout.
Theatrics. Welcome to Harmony. This tutorial will give you all the knowledge you need to explore the story. Alright, okay. Story nodes. The future is visible to you in the form of interconnected nodes. Each node contains a fragment of story that you can choose to unveil. Close this tutorial and use the left mouse button on the first node to select it. Alright, well, first of all, I can scroll in and out. I can move... No, I can scroll in and out. Can't seem to move up and down, strangely. I'd like to... I feel like I should be able to move up the screen, but I can't. Okay, I can kind of use the up and down keys to get to... That's this one's a new face, truth, dare. First step. So basically we pick one or two options and it affects the future, presumably. But we need to do first steps first. We don't get a choice. What is this? Where am I? Story nodes. When a story node is selected, or when a node is selected, information about its fragment of story appears on the right of your screen. Alright, okay. What is this? Where am I? Use this information to plan your journey through the story. Close this tutorial and use left mouse button again on the node to see the fragment it contains. Alright. What happened? What the hell just happened?
The Augural allows you to see the future. That's this board, you know? Before today, time was linear for you. From now on, well, it dances to your tune.
Interesting.
It's incredible. How? How come I can do that?
I'm an aspiration. Me and my friends need a heart to exist. But our heart is weak.
Alright, well, let's go back. What have we got new? Reverie. Aspirations. Okay, this is the new one. The aspirations are incarnations of humanity's yearnings, desires, and intelligence. We immortal beings have watched humankind from afar, only to intervene through dreams and aspiration, or inspiration. We exist in this world. Though we may be few, we are united. From time to time, we choose a new heart, a leader, a guide, and occasionally a despot. Okay. Our voices travel to Brittle, where we shape destinies. It has been so since the dawn of humanity and will always be so. Okay. Occasionally a despot. Right. It's a bit of a strange thing to say, but fair enough, right? So basically, sometimes they pick a nutcase. I'm an aspiration. Me and my friends need a heart to exist, but our heart is weak. Alright, we just mentioned that.
And you're special, Sprout.
We just got like...
You can help us. You can save us all.
The emotion things are sort of like pixel art. I don't quite get that. I think it looks a bit out of place. Bliss attempts to smile, but looks forced, perhaps because I look so confused. For a moment, the words mean nothing to me. So, right. It says, you're special, you can help us, you can save us all, okay. Why me, and why was this necklace in my mother's room? Good point. Could this Augural be the key to finding my mother?
Let's start with something easy. Truth or dare?
Okay, truth or dare? Is she serious? The light in her eyes tells me so. She is serious. Right, so we get two options here. Right, the question symbol means that only one of the next two notes can be played. The other will be blocked forever. Choose which part of the story you want to see unfold. Wow. I really want to move up. I can't move up the screen. I don't like it. Oh, there we go. I've held the right mouse button. Okay. So we got a new face. We can't see what the others are. They're not open to us. What's that? That's a pinnacle, a key point. Why I can't just move up the screen after the left right mouse button, I don't know, but that's the way it is. So we got truth. Don't know where this is going, but talking seems less risky. No, this is real, so let's just go with the flow, right? What do we do? Truth or dare? Let's go dare, shall we? So we've clicked it, and nothing's happened. Okay, so clicking on it just tells you. Let's go dare. Let's be daring. Why not? I wonder how you could play this game with some kind of immortal child, but I accept.
Dare.
Not dare, because it's quite easy in these games to always go down the sort of the very normal route, the things you would do in real life, you know, like not doing daring things. And it's very difficult sometimes to make yourself pick things, like even in this, like truth or dare, you think, oh well, I'm in a strange world, what's going on? I want to be normal and not do anything stupid. So I find it quite difficult to really, well, maybe other people don't, but I find it quite difficult to pick these routes you wouldn't normally do, you know. So we'll see what happens anyway, we'll see. We'll have to evaluate the choices, but we'll try and, maybe we should try and pick a sort of role for ourselves, the kind of way we're going to act. Maybe we'll come to that as we play the game. You know, we do sort of silly, not silly things, but, well, maybe silly things. I don't know. Well, anyway, let's do this. We've done dare.
Dad, show me the cutest picture of you.
Well, okay, it could have been worse.
Cutest? I guess I can do that.
How can she do that? How is she going to do it? What? Where's the picture? Has she got a phone on her? It doesn't look like she does. Bliss smiles. And just like that, I'm back home. Okay, well, that explains it. Right? All right, well, I asked the silly question. Well, I didn't ask a silly question. I asked the question and I got the answer, so that's fair enough. And just like that, I'm back home. All right. I walk through the rooms and point to a picture. All right. Okay, all the pictures look quite abstract from what I can see. It's me, age 6, dressed for the first day of school. Don't ask me about the costume.
OMG, Harmony, you're the cutest!
All right. Looks like it's in a swimming pool. Is that what it is? Well, it is in the thing, isn't it? It did say it was a swimming pool. They've emptied the pool and put some sofa in it. I mean, typical art installation. Everywhere I look, I see a good memory. Laszlo letting me play on the diving board while Ursula looked on in horror. So Laszlo was the guy phoning you before, I think. Watching Nora draw peacefully while Laszlo cooked. Who's Nora? The few times Ursula let me have friends over for my birthday, so she calls her mum Ursula, which is interesting. So it looks very nice, doesn't it? The art is very nice. There's oven on the oven. That's useful. Is this actually a house then? Yeah. Looks like an art installation. Oh, no, no clue. Laszlo and Ursula cooking Nora's favourite meal while I finish my homework. So, Nora then. Looks like this is the key to the next part. Who's she? Is she dead? Probably. I can't shoot strange when I'm overseeing the future, learning the shape of my own path.
You're a natural. Look at you travelling between Brittle and Reverie like it's nothing.
Alright. So Brittle is the name of our world, so that's probably the new thing on the thing. Yep. The material world where humankind lives. Humanity's actions produce egregore, the liquid vital to our existence. Egregore. Brittle is the world of matter, time, dimensions and gravity. However, despite its limits, Brittle is also a land of movement and energy, guided by the right hand. It can produce great things. We can visit it, but we can't be seen there. Alright, okay, so we know what Brittle's about. She was talking about that before. We didn't make any sense, but now it does. Alright, so Okay, we can travel between this world and that world, or whatever they are.
Isn't it dangerous, seeing the future?
Good question.
Bathing in what's to come or what's happened before is always dangerous.
Melancholy is a powerful emotion. And this place is...
Okay. When my dad left, Laszlo entered my life and carried me through the change. Carried all of us. And he brought along his granddaughter, Nora. Okay, that's answered that question. She brought a rush of fresh, raw energy. She electrified the place. So Nora then, granddaughter of Laszlo. Okay. We were an odd family. Piecemeal, improvised, but whole. Alright. My family.
What just happened?
You made a choice. What rippled forward from it was unique and new. Take your time to understand what all this implies. New powers can take a bit of getting used to, you know? You just need to focus. Stay in the present.
Stay in the present. It kind of contradicts everything that we've learned about this game so far.
The memories felt more real.
You asked, right? Isn't it dangerous to blah blah and all that? Well, duh. Yeah. Of course it's dangerous to live in a time that's not yours. Simple fact.
Simple.
And that's why you need to focus. Feet on the ground, eyes ahead, deep breath, and look into the future.
So keep in the present, look into the future. I'm sure that's what she literally said a second ago. Stay in the present. There we are. Stay in the present, Bliss. Then literally within 30 seconds, look into the future. All right, thanks, Bliss. Okay, look into the future. She'll be telling us, go back to the past. Right, hidden future. Polly can catch a glimpse of the future, but entire parts of it sometimes remain hidden from her. Nodes with her eye symbol, which is closed, will hide all the nodes behind them. Okay. Hidden nodes can't be interacted with. They conceal all information about the fragment they contain. You will need to progress through the augural until you reach the node to reveal and see beyond it. On the augural, use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. You can use the right mouse button to move the camera. Very nice indeed. Okay, zoomy zoom, 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 zoom. So we've got like a big event here, presumably. All these are blocked. Maybe looks like we can't get to the big event if we go down here. I don't know what that means. So we got one here, which is a new face. I can see someone else coming. Damn, this is weird. So we're going to meet someone new. And what's this one? It's got a closed eye, but it will be open when we go down here. All right, so we've got to go for a new face then. We've got some kind of weird symbol in the top, which is we've got bliss crystals, like a sort of yin and yang, half of the yin and yang, but pink. All right, well, a new face. Let's meet someone else. Some other nutcase probably. Gonna tell us something random. I can feel someone else coming. Damn, this is weird. All right, well. I open my eyes again. The two paths have merged into one, so we've made our choice. We don't really know what the difference was. Obviously, in this case, I imagine it's quite inconsequential, but who knows? Well, I assume it must have been because the paths don't diverge, so it must have not mattered what we did there. I assume. Could be wrong. Right, I open my eyes again. The two paths are merged into one.
What do you see? What do you feel?
I sense a new being. A new force. It's getting closer.
So I presume it probably is another aspiration.
That, I believe, would be me.
Okay. Power. A tall silhouette comes into focus before my eyes, surrounded by electric blue fish dancing in the air. Okay, why electric blue fish? All right. Even though, well, the picture of the fish that's come up in front of me doesn't just have blue fish. There's pink ones, orange ones, purple ones, a grey purple one. There's only one actual blue fish out of about 7. Probably best not to ask questions. I knew Bliss was tiny, but now she looks positively minuscule.
I am power. An aspiration like our minuscule bliss over there.
Now, does that mean he can read our mind because he said the word minuscule that we also used? Let's look at power then. Power! The mighty aspiration of willpower, leadership and strength protects Reverie at all costs. The mighty sovereign yearns for structure, so is he a bit like Zeus or something, and conquest, and is among Reverie's most influential aspirations. Powers help create lands in Reverie's infinity, building bridges and boundaries over its endless ebb of ideas. He values action over words and prides himself on being the most trustworthy of the aspirations. From the very beginning, he has fought the void surrounding dreams to expand Reverie's domain, and he has fought back many nightmares to protect it. Now, I quite like the way that this codex is quite, even though it's obviously a lot of text, it is not unreasonable. I feel like this is reasonable to read. I don't feel bombarded with too much stuff. Sometimes with these codex type things, journals, you just have too much and it's too much nonsense. It doesn't mean anything. It provides no real context. But in this one, it's relatively concise. It's introduced in a reasonably a good pace, and it matters and it's relevant. I don't mind reading it. I feel like I get something from it, but not too much and not too little. I think it's just about right, so that's quite interesting. Let's go back. All right, power, okay. Minuscule bliss, he's power, aspiration like her, okay. Well, there, he reads my mind too, okay. I'm going to have to work hard to keep them out of my head. So there we go. So we did, it's quite good that, because there's twice now where I've questioned something and said, what about this or that? And it has actually been the case or been addressed in the game. So as crazy as the game is, to some extent, it kind of seems to respond to my reasonable queries or whatever. So, yeah, guess that's okay. All right.
No offense, Bliss.
None taken. I prefer the term fun-sized.
Fun-sized? Fun-sized. A little laugh slips out of me. Suddenly the whole situation feels absurdly mundane, as though I've always been part of this.
You must be Harmony.
Just have a sip of my drink. Harmony, what's a name? Am I one of them? Okay, Codex again. Harmony. Alright, as the link between Reverie and Brittle, the Oracle is chosen to walk a special path. Okay, so we're kind of... Well, Harmony, I guess we bring, presumably, balance to both sides. Each age, a single Harmony is born, bringing hope of change to our realm. Which realm is that? Is that Reverie or Brittle? Or both? Harmony's tasked with maintaining a balance between the two worlds. So there you go again. I didn't read that, but this is twice again now where I've said ahead of what the game has implied, and it has been the case, and it's literally been confirmed. So the game, I think, is quite good like that. I definitely feel like my reactions to what's going on are sort of basically what the game is trying to portray. So it's just quite interesting, actually. As big bonkers as it seems so far, it has kind of, it's telling me what it wants me to know, if you know what I mean, or wants me to feel or whatever. And I am getting that. So, Harmony's tasked with maintaining a balance between the two worlds. They ensure that egregore. Okay, I'm sure that's probably a real thing that I've never heard of before. That's probably from Greek mythology or something. Flows to Reverie and helps us aspirations extend our influence over Brittle, infusing more dreams into humans' minds. Maintaining this cycle is one of the utmost importance. Utmost importance. Okay, maintaining balance between two worlds ensures egregore flows to Reverie and helps the aspirations extend influence over Brittle. So we've got a bit of thing here, haven't we? The aspirations want this stuff from Brittle to power it, which is egregore, and then they want to be able to maintain influence over it. So are they malevolent or benevolent, do you think? Okay, if that stopped, would they become aggressive? And is that why they're after us? Yeah, so there's some oddities going on, and maybe that's the case.
You have seen how weak our heart is. It won't last long.
Okay, so assuming that egregore powers the heart.
Great changes would come to pass. You might even call them cataclysmic.
The ground beneath me suddenly feels shaky, unstable.
What can I do? I'm just looking for my mother. I didn't ask for any of this.
You now know that chance does not exist. The futures laid out before you will force your hand. They will require you to make choices. Choices that are ruthless, difficult, even painful.
Now there's an exit button with tab at the top there. What does that mean? I don't know what that means, exit. Okay. To make choices that are ruthless, difficult and painful, perhaps.
Choose wisely, follow your objective, and your diligence will be rewarded with a valuable resource.
Okay.
Ah, knew I forgot something.
Yeah, that's probably egregore.
There's this energy called egregor, right?
Egregor, okay.
Basically, how we exist in your world. It kind of tastes like, you know that blue soda?
Egregor is rare and powerful. It is not to be drunk. Some choices you make will generate egregor and bind us together. Use it wisely.
Ooh, he sneezed there. Bless me. Right, so we've got egregor now. So it's egregor, not... It's egregor, not egregor, as I said. But let's have a look. Egregor. Egregor is the texture of dreams, an energy that flows freely between the worlds, or between worlds. At the very beginning, there were the four elements, still and separate. They needed egregor to come together and merge. I feel like egregor is the correct pronunciation for me, but I'll say egregor if I can. This luminous substance holds an infinite amount of possibilities. It is both everything and nothing at the same time. Invisible to the human eye, egregor requires you to see past what it is and to see what could be. But be warned, egregor is a powerful elixir that is lethal in large quantities, so you've got to balance it maybe. Can't have too much of it. So what's this tab mean here? I'm tempted to click it. It's got an arrow pointing to it. Okay, so it's just the thing at the top. Okay. All right, use it wisely.
What are you expecting from me?
The aspirations meet my doubts with a knowing look. I don't like that they can see my thoughts, read my intentions.
Ah, you got it. I can tell because your mind's gone all hard. Difficult to hear.
It looks like I'm getting better at pushing them away from what's in my head.
We have much more to tell you, but a good leader knows what to reveal and what to leave unsaid. For now, of course.
Okay, so he's kind of like the leader then. So, okay, I don't like to see my thoughts, read my intentions, right? So, because your mind's gone all hard. Okay, so, right. Okay, so he's not going to tell us everything. Okay, much more to tell us, what he expected from me. So he's not going to tell us what they expect from me, I guess. The two aspirations look at each other, something shared in their glance, an emotion, a memory, but I don't know what it is. I'll need to find it by myself. So can we see the thing then? If I go to the menu. Okay, so you can restart the chat. There's a codex settings. Alright, so I can't go to that screen with the future.
The key is your mother, Harmony.
Her disappearance must be linked with what happened here.
Was she the old Harmony, was she? I paused, they glanced at each other.
Some of our number are lost, scattered.
And we work better if we're a team.
How many of them are there?
But that's for later. Right now, the priority is your mother.
Exactly.
Okay.
We must find her. Or else...
We can explain why, who she is, why she's important.
Your heart will get weaker?
Look in her eyes tells me I'm right.
Find your mother. Explore the futures.
So basically, it looks like your mum was presumably getting the egregor from Brittle to this place. And she stopped doing that. So she must have been the old Harmony, and she's obviously gone rogue or something. Well, maybe. I don't know how she would have... It could have been the case otherwise. I nod, the view from up here is stunning. Well, glad your priorities are correct. Just told you the world's possibly ending, but you're looking at the view. The Nexus, a place that belongs to all of us, where our heart beats, pumping life into dreams. Okay, next is neutral ground, where the re-aspirations gather to discuss important matters. The heart of Reverie was once kept in a chosen aspiration sanctuary, sparkling much tension among us. Truth and bond work to create the neutral space to hold the heart and come together. The sanctuaries are private and only open to those their owner allows inside. Right. Truth and bond, so we need to find them. In the chosen aspiration sanctuary, so, but it sparked much tension because the sanctuary is private. Yeah, so who was the chosen one? Maybe your mum, I don't know. I nod. You appear stunning. My head feels heavy. So much has been dropped on me. So much. I need to close my eyes. All right. Well, we've got a objectives. The new objective node has been revealed. Objective nodes are marked by a ray of light shining from their center. Try reaching them to progress through the story. Use the tab to open notifications panel to see the new objective node. I mean, I'm really tempted straight away to go this way. Tab. Code its power harmony. We go on the Nexus. Objectives, a long road ahead. As far as you can see, Sprout, you'll need to give one of us Eggroll to get past here. So we've got this here. Power. Alright, we've already read all this. So what's all this here then? Can we not go this way? Support Nora, warn Nora. So it gives us a bliss crystal power. Alright, so we basically our choices. Okay, so we have to go this way, so that implies we must be able to go back, because that gives us the power. We need to give us Egregore to get here. And there's some stuff here as well. Sanctuary power, have one power crystal. So we have to make a choice up here already. Kind of home. Choose one of the two next nodes. I'm definitely going left if I can, because the game wants me to go right, so I'm automatically going to go left. Okay, I'm back on Earth. What was all that about? Alright. Not in Kansas anymore. I can tell right away that I'm not in Reverie anymore. The sun over Atina is hot and dry. I can tell straight away, you know what I mean? You know. I can stretch out my arms, feeling the muscles there resisting. A minute. I just need a minute to think this through. I came here to find my mother, discovered a necklace that transported me far away. The necklace. A key to Reverie forged by a human with the help of an aspiration. The seemingly innocuous trinket acts as a portal between brittle and Reverie. Some artifacts, such as the necklace, hold a piece of Reverie within their material confines. Few exist, and fewer are those able to wield their potential. Nevertheless, these artifacts always find their way to the right person. Alright, okay, so, yep, it's basically a way of getting to Reverie. Your mum had it, you've got it now. And I'm now able to instantly travel between the worlds and talk to gods.
Is that it?
That wasn't a dream. All my studies into the human mind, all my research, I've never heard of anything like this. It wasn't a seizure or hallucination. This was all the legends and tales my mother wrote about in her poetry, all the stories she told me as a kid. And invisible worlds opened up in front of me with the Augural. Augural? I need to act. I need to embrace this. Alright. Crystals. These two nodes are blocked by a barrier. Barriers block access to the nodes until they are removed. It seems crystals are required to unlock either of these two nodes. The power and bliss symbols show that you need a bliss or a power crystal to progress through the story. Crystals can be gained as you progress through the Augural. Here are the crystals you seek. Do you see the pink and the orange symbols in the upper part of these two nodes? Progress through the Orgrill and play one of them to gain a crystal and break the corresponding barrier. Crystals can materialize in different forms depending on which aspiration they are bound to. There's lots of others there. So it looks like there's 6 in total. So we have, so it's weird how we have to go to the left to then go to the right. I don't get that. That's a familiar face. Would that be Oslo, whatever his name was? Laszlo. So we can't go right. So somehow we can go left and then go back to the right, which I find strange. Why is it not done? Well, they probably will explain it. Maybe we go back in time. But it seems a bit strange that these 2 branches on the left don't come off the right. You know, one of these. I find that a bit weird. All right, at last a familiar face. Kind of home. I walk back inside. My head's still swirling with words, names, predictions. And then, Nora. I can hear footsteps inside the room. Knowing her, she's about to barge in. I rub my eyes and run my hands through my hair, trying to wake from reverie.
Polly?
Okay, it's Nora. I can feel tears in my eyes, a sweet taste in my mouth, static electricity grazing my shoulders and arms.
You're here!
Yeah, quite a, what's the word? Quite a, I don't know. Can't feel the word. Can't feel the description now. A bright person, sparkly person. There's a word I want. I can't think of it.
Nora, come here.
She crosses the room. We hug. It's the first human contact I've had in months. She feels so good, so warm and familiar. But Nora, she's on the Citizens. Born June the 9th, 2010. So he must be slightly in the future because she's not going to be 13. Study economics with a minor in arts. Her grandfather, Laszlo Kasar, is her guardian and has raised her since her parents relinquished custody. Failed first several years of college, approached a fashion school on the continent for their ancestral class. Legal name changed at 18, seeing a speech therapist. Contacted for mono-concern health experiments. All right, okay. Strange. Right, I don't know what's going on with her, but yeah, it seems like she's been through some things. A bubbly person, that was what I was looking for before.
How are you?
Good! I mean, fine, considering what's going on.
What is going on?
It's okay.
Oh, you
We'll
mum.
find her. I know we will.
So much has happened.
Tell me.
Hold on, I need some coffee. It's keeping my brain from rotting.
She drinks coffee now. She seems... Well, she's definitely older. Young woman. So have you not seen her for 10 years, or is that... I don't know. Okay, it's quite... This is meant to be the shallow end of the pool. Because you can see the rope, the ramp on the left. But it's quite deep for a shallow end. I don't know if you... Could you stand up in that? I guess it wouldn't be fully filled, but, you know. Something to think about. In the kitchen, Nora makes us both coffee and launches into, well, about 8 different stories at once, all tangled together. She hasn't changed, always carrying an entire world of plots and characters and charming adventures with her. A Nora-verse of energy.
And yeah, Grandpa's gone through all 5 stages of grief, though for a while I thought he was stuck on denial.
So she's, she's kind of a Nora-verse of energy. So that was, yeah, I said she was a bubbly person. So again, it's coming across, isn't it? You're getting the personalities of the people through the way they act and the dialogue, which is interesting. I smile as she hands over a huge mug filled to the brim with caffeine. What did she say a second ago? Denial, Grandpa, that's Laszlo, whatever his name was.
Nothing beats a really cheap, super strong coffee.
Where's she come from?
Can she see you?
Hang on. Why are you not... She's here in in Bristol. How's she here?
Oh, no, you're fine. Just don't start talking to yourself. Weirds people out.
So, did we speak to out loud there or not? We'll find out in a second.
I'm so sorry. I'm talking so much. Can't believe it's the first time you've been back in years.
Okay, Polly. That's we got information on us now. Born March 18th, 1998. So 12 years older than Nora. graduate degree in programming, moved abroad to work in biotech as a data analyst. Daughter of Ursula Beauclair and Marco Rishi, raised by Ms. Beauclair. Seldom returns to Atina since leaving 8 years ago. Nothing of interest to report. You alright? You alright? You alright?
Yeah, it's... you know.
Hmm.
Oh, I know. Things were difficult with Ursula.
Okay. It doesn't feel good to admit my mother always showed more love and affection to Nora than to me. I'm not jealous. Nora deserves love, but it's hard to stop thinking about the reasons behind it. Was I harder to love?
But she'd been different lately. We had a fight before she went missing.
Alright. It sounds like they were quite on good terms, but they've had a fight.
Ursula was upset with you.
No, it's always gone along well with my mother. There you go, you see again. That's why it's a bit shocking, and you've got that impression already, or that you know that from reading the text, from the way they act. No, it's always gone along well with my mother. I can't remember the last time they fought.
Have you heard about all the job openings at MK?
MK. Mono Concern. We did hear that somewhere before. Mono Concern started a humble piping company in the 20th century. In the early 20th century. 1 century later, it's grown from a water supply company to become the biggest company in Atina. Mono Concern. Is it Concern or Concern? Now specialises in new technologies and offer a wide array of services. Trivids, drone deliveries, medic at ID or aid, and much more. Job opportunities abound in a variety of areas, providing roughly half of Atina's population with a steady income and the promise of a bright future. That's the big tech company, isn't it? That's probably bad. Who knows? Doesn't sound like they are bad, but they probably, who knows? They usually end up being, don't they? Nora wants to join MK. A few months ago, she was telling me how intrusive and problematic they were.
The city's getting more expensive by the minute, and the pay's good, and it's interesting work, I guess.
Right.
Did I mention the pay? Because Paul, we're barely getting by here.
Alright, she needs money.
And there's this school I'd like to go to, a rather expensive school.
Is this why they had an argument with her mum, maybe? Or whatever she's called, Ursula, whatever her name was?
But Ursula felt I was
Well, there we go.
betraying myself, and we had a fight, and I had to sleep at a friend's place for a couple of days.
So again, I've been able to predict where it's going based on this. It seems to be adding up, doesn't it? You can join the dots.
That bad?
I just needed some space, some air.
The sheer of static electricity is back. Through my fingers, up my back, the necklace feels lighter around my throat.
I know MK isn't perfect, but I can't live here forever. No way I can move out without a job.
So is this basically where we tell her either to go for the money, go for the job, or not? And I guess that static is where we make a choice. MK isn't perfect, but it's not a censor of what I'd hear from Nora's mouth.
What do you think?
What do we think, eh? What do we think? As I think about to answer, I feel the weight of the decision. This is the kind of choice Bliss was talking about. Alright, so we're going to get the augury up again. What else have we got? So we've got these 3 new concepts things. So we could pick a choice. Support Nora. This is what she wants to hear. Support, not judgment. That gives us a Bliss thing. Power. She doesn't want to hear this, but it's for her own good. Warn her. Well, this is odd, isn't it? Because I kind of felt a bit like supporting her is saying go for the big tech company, which you think is generally a bad decision, but it's kind of supporting her, so it's a good decision. Doesn't want to hear this, but it's for her own good. Consequences. So what do we think? It seems to be a big tech company. She doesn't look like she wants to do it. But she needs the money. She needs to go to school. But we can tell her not to do it. difficult one, this, isn't it? It's kind of like a bit like, I don't know, really. It's really not obvious at all what's the right decision. You know, like warning her against it. It's kind of like, well, you know, this is not what you've ever wanted to do. You know, but then to go for it allows her to go to school, pay the bills. Mono concern. What do we think then, eh? What do you reckon? I don't really know, really. I was thinking, oh, you know, I'm going to try and pick a bad decisions, and well, not bad decisions, but not do the obvious ones. But I feel like supporting her is not necessarily. I feel really like inclined to support her, really, but oh, you know what, I don't know. You know, this is what I'm saying already. It's quite difficult to pick the option that isn't really the one you'd like to pick. I feel like supporting her is the right thing to do in this case. But then is it, you know, telling her, you know, she doesn't want to hear it, but it's for her own good. Is supporting her the best one? Oh, you know, it's... what to pick, eh? What to pick? I don't really... I don't want to sort of... I don't want to go down the typical route. But by the same token, it doesn't feel right to just... it just doesn't feel right to not support her, does it? You know what I mean? I don't know. Feels like it's not the right thing to do. But then, you know, is it, you know, should we be taking these risks and picking the options that aren't the obvious ones, you know? Because she did fall out with your mum about it, didn't she? So we then fall out with her. Maybe it's a bad thing. Sanctuary of Bliss. Console poor little Nora and I'll invite you to hang out in my room. Nora needs to hear the truth. Be honest with her. She needs to hear the truth. Console poor little Nora and invite you to hang out in my room. It's quite a bit. It's not that obvious a decision. I was thinking, oh, because I mean, supporting, you think, well, support someone, you know. But the truth, she doesn't want to do it. She's not that kind of person. It's not obvious to what's, you know, you think, oh, you know, I want to pick the right decision, but, you know, Nora's not the kind of person to want to work there. She needs to, but then she needs the money. You know what? The more I think about it, the more I think that going this way is the right decision. When you hear about it here, Nora needs to hear the truth. Be honest with her. I'm gonna go with power, you know. I'm gonna go with power. I feel like having considered it as long as I have, it's actually the right choice. Although you could argue that when I was trying to say go for the wrong choices, it's the other one, as in don't do the obvious thing. But then I feel like we're not doing the obvious thing. But then the obvious thing is probably really to do that. But the more you think about it, the more you realize that was the bad choice. You know, going with bliss. You know, as in, you know what I mean. But I'm gonna go with power and warn her again. See what happens.
Do it, Harmony.
But she'll be disappointed, and...
You are about to tell her what she needs to hear, not what she wants to hear.
The more I think about it, the more I feel he's right. Well, exactly. Again, it's saying exactly what I thought. You know, the more I thought about it, the more it seemed the right thing to do. Time to put on my big sister cap. So again, it's interesting. It does seem to you know, I don't know. It seems to work. The narration, the story. It seems to add up. It's not just a load of nonsense, although, you know, in the reality that it's providing me with, it adds up. The choices I make reflect the decisions I made. The things I take from the dialogue is what it's trying to tell me. It seems to add up, you know, and I think that's quite important with this sort of thing. So, yeah.
Maybe it's just me, but I can't picture you in a monoconcern uniform.
I know. But the pay is... It would change a lot for me.
She's conflicted, and I don't think she expected me to reel her back in so quickly. How long has she been thinking about this?
No, you're right. It's not a good idea. They've been increasing security all over the island. MK is everywhere these days. Hard to avoid.
Interesting.
And I know I won't change anything by myself, but...
I'm kind of worried now because the decisions are so weighty, and, you know, obviously I'm taking my time to evaluate the choices here. I'm just worried that I might miss something or not quite read something the way I want to and then regret it afterwards. You know, like the way I've done this, like I was originally going towards the Bliss choice, thinking that's the right choice really, and I want to support her and be a nice friend or nice big sister or whatever. But then the more I thought about it, the more I realised, hang on a sec, that isn't doing the right choice. That's just being passive. And I did want to tell her the truth, really. And I think that was the right choice. But then, not related to what I just said, but then what I was saying earlier was the fact that I don't want to just make the easy choices. But then it wasn't an easy choice, but it is the right choice. But I don't want to just make the choices because it's the right choice. I want to maybe take a risky choice. But then I felt like I was doing that, but I'm not. I don't know. Very deep choice. Her heart is heavier. I wish I could take this burden off her, but the rest is up to her.
You cannot take back your words. Moving forward is the only way to travel this road, Harmony.
So you can't go backwards?
You did well.
Sorry, it was a bad idea. Can I have a hug?
I don't need to be asked twice. Her warmth is contagious.
You know I didn't mean to make you feel guilty, right?
I know. Don't worry. I'm tough. On the inside.
Of course you are.
She smiles. I smile back. I'm realizing that from now on, my relationships will be affected by my power. So did we get a better relationship with her? I don't know. This is a heavier burden than I thought.
This is good. The hug, I mean.
It is.
Nora squeezes harder. Then she releases me. We're both recharged, but both forgiven, both at peace.
Come on. I guess we should go find Laszlo.
Yeah. I could do with a drink.
Alcohol drink. We just had coffee. And maybe passing out and forgetting about the necklace and those two weird... I stop the thought before it spans beyond my control. Family first. Because that's why I'm here, isn't it? Family. Alright, crystal obtained. You've just collected your first crystal. Crystals collected during the chapter are not kept when you move to the next one. The barrier's fallen, so you can now reach the objective node. Look at this fish. Must be Power's fish, but then... They said they were blue. Anyway, they've disappeared now. Alright. So we can't go that route. I can't do it because it's locked. You're welcome to visit my strong anytime, young Harmony. So go towards Power. Power's stronghold. So they all have their own little places. Fish around it. A shock, a brief pain behind my eyes, a bright light. I'll say that again because I felt like I didn't say it right. A shock, a brief pain behind my eyes, a bright light. When I return to my senses, I'm not in Athena anymore. I'm back in reverie.
You have chosen well thus far.
Well, of course, because I picked the one you wanted.
Is this your realm?
So it did tell us before, didn't it, about their own sanctuary places. So each of these reveries has their... Is it reverie? Each of their own whatever they're called. Is it Reverie? Aspirations, that's it. Has their own base. And they're quite private, and they keep one of them, or someone kept the heart in one of their own bases in the past, and it caused contention because you're not meant to be able to go to other people's realms or whatever it is. Or it's a private place, so it was a bit weird to keep the heart in one of these places.
Indeed, a place of strength, of fortitude.
Okay, Power Stronghold, there we go. So unsurprisingly, Power Stronghold is the grandest sanctuary in Reverie. It presides over many dreams and is said to extend deep into the grounds of Reverie. Its stark obsidian slabs come from the darkest nightmares Power has managed to venture into. Alright, that sounds a bit odd. They serve as a reminder of his strength for everyone to see. The Stronghold has seen many wars and conquered many dreams, but it remains firmly rooted in the heart of Power's realm. Okay. Because the darkest nightmares it venture into. Right. Don't know why it's nightmares. Unless he removes them and makes people's dreams nice, I don't know. A gust of dry wind pushes us inside the tower. The cold stone that surrounds us makes me feel like I'm walking down the barrel of a gun. Power takes an unhurried seat on a monumental throne, a movement rehearsed 1,000 times.
But a realm implies a kingdom, a title, a crown.
This is all for show, a power play. Power's court. Okay, those innocuous fish are Power's messengers. Power's fish are his eyes and ears and have been known to fight before. Power's loyal allies since time immemorial. The fish are his messengers, spies and soldiers. Their expressions are undecipherable, and they listen to us, are waiting for us. Are they listening to us or waiting for orders? We do not know. No pun intended about the power play. All right.
We aspirations are neither kings nor queens nor anything in between. Neither deities nor demigods. We simply are.
Okay.
Aspirations are intrinsically linked to your world and your kind.
And we never had a clue about any of it.
Have you always been here?
Always. Since the dawn of your kind.
Okay.
Since your first dream, your first wish, your first complex thought. It must come as a shock to lose the luxury of your ignorance.
Okay. The aspirations have been here all this time, everywhere, guiding all of our choices. So many questions, my mind's awash with words and doubts and queries.
Do we elect you?
He shakes his gigantic head back and forth. Can you shake your head back and forth? His mouth twisting into a smile. The concept of democracy seems alien to Power.
The same way a river elects the sea into which it flows.
For a second, it feels like his throne is made of whitewashed bones, crushed hopes, tears and sweat and blood.
You sense that we aspirations are much more than we appear. We give off an energy that is neither good nor bad harmony.
Like gods?
Well, her thing's swirling around her head when she does that. I'm trying to make sense of it all, trying to make it work in my head.
Gods are invented, and inventions can be killed. No. No.
Okay. A sedan-sized, or sedan, I think that's meant to be a car, isn't it, in US speak? Fist hammers the arm of his throne. So is he really that big? Is he massive then? Is he like literally a giant? He just looks like a big guy, but you know, maybe he's ridiculously big.
We are much more, greater than gods. But our strength is limited to this place. We need a firm hand to restore our world.
And my world too, right? If I understood, we're connected. You need us humans. And we need you.
The smile disappears from his face.
True.
Well, they need that energy. What's it called? Garroth, or whatever it's called. Erigor. Egregor.
Use the Orgrill. Explore your future. Establish and assert your own will. Follow my path, and we can change the world. Our worlds.
Okay.
Because whatever is about to come, dear Harmony, even I cannot predict what it will be.
He raises his hand and snaps his fingers. Alright. So we're back. Okay, a long road ahead. My head is buzzing with thoughts. Now what? Got some context, so we've just read those there. Okay. So we can't see the next one, I don't think. Alright, so it gives you the dialogue that happens there, so that's quite interesting. We can't see this one. It seems to be blank. Alright. Head is buzzing with thoughts. Now what? Let's go. Okay, whatever's brewing here, it's big. Bigger than my mother disappearing. I step closer to the heart of reverie. Its blue flames don't seem to burn.
Hey, you still here?
Okay, Bliss has come back. Don't seem bothered that we didn't do what she wanted or whatever. Nice colours on the ground, I've just noticed. Or different colours in the tiles or whatever. I turn around and Bliss is standing right in front of me.
Didn't mean to scare you. Sorry.
There's more to it than she's ready to share. I can sense it.
This is a lot. Are you real? Is any of this real? Or am I having some sort of waking nightmare?
Yeah, it's described as a nightmare. I don't really know what it would be really. Maybe, well, I guess not a pleasant dream.
First, thanks. Nightmare indeed.
Again, it conveyed my thoughts again, you know, it's just saying, is it really a nightmare? And then it's, yeah. I think it's, yeah, it just seems to work. I seem to be on the wavelength of the game. I have the questions it seems to want me to have. I get the impressions it seems to want me to have. I feel like it makes sense on that level. The story is obviously fantastical, but the impressions and the dialogue and the resulting things you get seem to add up, as I mentioned before.
Second, it's very real, Sprout.
I just need a minute.
It's okay. Really. We're really impressed by everything you've done so far. Soon, you'll be able to see even further on the Orgrill.
Oh, this is interesting. So this bit happens regardless of whether we go down the Bliss route. So she's still nice to us and says we're impressed with everything you've done and stuff like that. I guess it would happen anyway. But clearly, I guess Bliss is less influenced by the choices we make based on whether they're hers or not, at least so far anyway.
How far ahead?
Depends on your choices, on who you side with, on what happens.
She's uncomfortable. Voice has like a weird, eerie synthesis on it, or whatever you'd say, like a strange echo. If you can quite make it out. Quite subtle.
I can tell you don't exactly trust me, even if I can't read your mind anymore.
Let's be honest here.
You mentioned my mother. As soon as I stepped into all this, you knew. And you wanted me to find her. What's going on with her? Do you know Ursula?
Can aspirations breathe? Because if so, Bliss just took the biggest gulp of air ever. You get like strange symbols on your head. I missed it then, but it seems to be like a square with like, you know, squares in squares. Sometimes it's circles in circles. I don't know if that makes any difference. Okay. So something about your mum. It's not been explained yet.
Ursula was here before, in your shoes, in this place, wearing this necklace.
So it's like we said before, she had to be, didn't she? Because she had the necklace. She must have been Harmony before. Clearly she probably went against everything or didn't want to be it anymore. Didn't like the fact that, you know, she was severing the link between Brittle and here, whatever this place is called again. Reverie. Because it was getting weaker. So she wasn't being Harmony, basically, by the sounds of it.
And she tried to do everything you've been doing today, and...
She failed.
Yeah, there we go. again, we're getting this gist of it, aren't we? We said she must have failed because we didn't have the power. But the egregore with the heart has got nothing in it.
She wasn't the right person. Why? I can't tell you directly.
Why not? Problem mystery solved. 2 secrets are added.
Whatever happened, it broke us. It almost ruined Reverie. And we forgot. Our minds, our bodies were twisted and erased.
Alright. I turn away from bliss. A minute. I just need a minute. I keep saying this and never seem to get this minute. Today's been a string of stolen minutes, wild concepts, shocking discoveries.
We need your help. And you need ours. There's an aspiration called truth. They know a lot. I mean, of course.
Why do we need her help really? Just only because of this this situation that presumably they've put us in. Well, no, we picked up the necklace, didn't we? The pendant, so maybe not.
If you could find a way to save them, it would mean the world to us.
Doesn't say him or her, so interesting.
I know it's unfair to ask you to go out there without any more information.
Yeah, you could tell us more, baby. Yeah.
It'll be okay. I understand the stakes. And I'll do my best.
So you see they had the circles around the head then, rather than the squares. So if the circles means positive action, the squares mean we're going negative or concern. I give her a tentative smile. I need to get back to Nora, meet with Laszlo, search my mother and this truth. No time to lose. Alright. History. Select a pass node to display an overview of its contents. We did that before. The game is saved automatically after each node is played. You can still restart a chapter from the start as long as it has not been completed. Oh, so we could do it again. So we could see everything again. I don't think I want to do that though. We'd be here all day. You know, we want to make the decisions and go with it because it's that kind of game. I think you've got to make a decision and live with the consequences. I don't think changing your mind. I mean, I know you can do it. It's obviously you can restart, but that's not how this game's meant to be. You know, you know what you know and you make a decision based on that and you go with it. I think to go back and change your mind, I think that's just defeating the point of it. You know what I mean? The option is available from the pause menu. Escape. Okay, end of chapter. Alright, so what I'll do then, I'll probably finish it. I'll click the end of chapter thing. Yeah, so what I think I'll do, guys, I'll end it here. I don't think this is going to show anything, but if it does, I might skip this bit out. But basically, I think I'll finish here, or if not, I'll show this bit if it actually shows anything extra. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that. It's an interesting one. Quite an interesting game. It's obviously not interactive as far as the fact that you're not running around jumping on platforms and things, but the consequences and the actions and the decisions that you make do seem to matter. They don't seem to be obvious. While obviously the game isn't set in reality, the decisions and the dialogue and the way the impressions it gives you, the feedback, it all seems to actually reflect sense. Things that happen make sense. And the feedback, the consequences make sense. What happens, what people say, what they do, makes sense. The impressions you're given from what people have said turns out to be accurate. Obviously there might be sometimes where people are deceiving you or whatever, but you know what I mean? I feel like it's not a nonsense, the stuff you've been told as far as actually what's going on is concerned, So, yeah, interesting. All right, well, guys, hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you in the next chapter, I guess. Yeah. Bye for now. See you later.